Hello everybody, we are back with another YouTube video. This time we're making another build guide. I am usually a hunter main for probably 95% of the time. I'm a hunter. I do play my Warlock and Titan occasionally when they fit the use case, but if I can, I use my hunter for everything. Today we are doing a Warlock build guide for Controverse Hold with grenades, specifically the magnetic grenade. So it uses Feed the Void and Chaos Accelerant. Chaos Accelerant is to charge your grenades, which Controverse Hold takes advantage of and applies weaken and gives you damage resist when you're charging your nade. But for the magnetic grenade, it has a short range Void Blast. It's very good. Magnetic is the best grenade for this, from what I have been told and from what I've seen. Magnetic grenade excels for this build. You can use other grenades with this build if you'd like, but magnetic grenade is the chunkiest of all of the grenades. I'll just quickly go over the build if you just want to hop in and use it. We've got Echo of Harvest to give you Orbs of Power and Void Breaches. When you defeat a weakened target, your grenades are going to be weakening targets. So defeating those enemies with your grenades gives you orbs and void breaches. So you can use that for Devour and healing. Echo of Undermining is absolutely necessary. This is what causes a lot of the damage chunking. The Aegis Relic did a great video on this, on damage chunking with this build specifically. So if you want to go check that out, I'll link that. That kind of inspired me to make this build guide. He put that out right after the Equilibrium dungeon to kind of, you know, snuff out any misinformation that might have been spreading around that. The TLDR or TLDW, I guess, too long didn't watch, would be that you just need to have a system with more than 60 frames. If you have a system with more than 100 frames, or if you have a system that can run the game at more than 100 frames, you'll be able to chunk health bars on bosses a little bit better. But 60 frames is just kind of the minimum requirement. So console players can use this just fine. Not to quite the extent that PC can, but you know, this build's perfectly fine for just neutral game. So I like the Echo of Expulsion, some extra explosions on ability Final Blows. You're going to be using your grenade for a lot of Final Blows, so this is just nice. And then Persistence to give you longer Devour and Void Overshield. If you want, you can drop Expulsion and replace it for Starvation. So when you pick up Orbs of Power, you also get Devour, not just from Final Blows, but your Devour is enhanced by Feed the Void, which is nice. You get extra grenade energy and health. So that could be a good combo. But I just like Expulsion. But Starvation's a very good one if you want more survivability. You feel like you're not getting enough health from orbs that you pick up, just throw on Starvation instead of Expulsion. Nova Bomb doesn't really matter, Cataclysm or Vortex. I like the Healing Rift as usual, and then whatever jump fits your fancy. That's the build. For armor mods, this is my neutral game armor mods. I have special finders because I usually run double special with this because I'm getting a lot of grenade kills. I run triple firepower to bring that orb generation cooldown down to 1 second per kill. So after I kill an enemy with my grenade, it generates an orb, and then there's a 1 second timer, and then I can generate another orb. So I can just keep on pumping those out. I've got some resistances. I've got stacks on stacks, which is just to keep my armor charge up. I can honestly, I need to have at least one ticking armor mod. I can probably drop this and put on Absolution so that when I pick up orbs, because I'm generating a lot of orbs, I can get more ability energy. So that's probably perfectly fine. But so you need to have at least one ticking armor charge on your loadouts. As you notice, I've just changed it. I guess I didn't prep well enough. I had a kinetic surge, but I'm using a strand weapon, so I just have this strand weapon surge on just to make my mint retriade do a little bit more damage. And it's mainly just to hold surges across loadouts. So if you do use this this build for DPS, you want to have a build that gets you up to 200 grenade grenade stat. So I have 150 grenade stat. So 3 grenade mods brings me up to, this one gives me plus 20, plus 20, plus 10. So that's plus 50 total. So I'm at 204 when I have this, but it caps at 200. So I get the maximum damage bonus. Same thing with my super. I have 3 super fonts on my helmet, so that brings my super stat up to 200 as well. So this is pretty good for DPS. I have double 200s for DPS. The other stats don't really matter for this build because most of the time you're just going to be doing grenade damage. But the time dilation is to make my armor charges last longer. I've got powerful attraction. Whenever I place my rift, I pick up orbs in the area, which not only heals me, but fills up my armor charges. Stacks on stacks just makes it so every orb that I pick up gives me 2 stacks of armor charge. So 1 orb gives me about 36 seconds of armor charge. So I only need to pick up an orb every 36 seconds to have armor charge going. So pretty nice, pretty nice. There's not really much else to this build other than some gameplay that I'm going to throw in. But yeah, let me know if you guys have any questions. This build is pretty good. I'll switch over to a live demonstration in the shooting range just to show you how to chunk with the build and the differences between other huge burst options and this one, which is pretty much infinite as long as you have Song of Flame on a teammate or a way to get your grenade back. So let's swap over to that real quick and then we'll wrap up the video. So according to a lot of testing and data that's been gathered, the best way to get a nice chunk is to charge your grenade, jump, and throw it at the feet. And as you can see, I'm not really getting chunks right now, but it's not always consistent. There you go. Nice big chunk there. Not a great one. Pretty decent one. You gotta take into account that Carl has a lot of health. More than any boss in the game as far as I know. So big chunks like that are quite a lot of health. As you can see, it says 36,000, but I've moved a lot more than 36,000 on the health bar. So the thing about this build is that it shows the damage on the health bar more than it does in the post activity screen. So if you're using this to do damage to a boss and you're showing up as much lower than your team, that's not in error. That is kind of an error on Bungie's end, but it's not really an error. It's just that's how this works. You're going to be doing a lot more to the health bar than you are to the wipe screen. But getting hits with this grenade gives you grenade energy back. So as you can see, my grenade charges back up quite a lot as soon as I hit. Getting some pretty big chunks there. So this is what it looks like when you hit a ×20 parasite for the health bar. And then this is what it looks like when you hit a Radiant Golden Gun Nighthawk on Hunter. And as comparison, here is a big grenade chunk that I did on Carl. All right, I hope you guys liked the video. If you have any questions about this or if you have any suggestions for how I could have made this video better, please leave those in the comments. If you liked the video, please leave a like. If you didn't like it, dislike or just move on, whichever one works for you. And then if you feel inclined, please leave a sub. I'm just trying to gather more people that enjoy Destiny. So if you liked the video and you think you want to see more like this, please leave a sub. The sub count from videos lets me know how I'm doing. Also likes and comments. So appreciate you all. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.